Hello, this is Ankit Reddy. Welcome to the .NET course from educators.com, world's best online training tutorial for the leading technologies. In this video session, let us discuss about access specifiers. I strongly recommend before watching this session, please watch my previous session on we discussed private, public and protected. Okay. In this session, let us see that what is internal. Before doing this internal, let me recap for a while for public, private and protected access specifiers. Let me go to the console application. See here, I have a customer class inside this main class. Customer class, I have declared one variable as private integer ID and which is accessible within the containing type. The containing type means just remember that a class. So a variable which is declared as a private that can be accessed within the class. So this is entire class we can access within this class. We cannot access outside. And what is a protected? Protected variable means we can have access the same variable within the class. Here you can see salary equal to 5,000 as well as in the derived class. This is derived class. So we are able to access here also. But the same thing we cannot access private variable here. Let me uncomment this line and see this. We'll be getting an immediately compile time error saying that is inaccessible due to its protection level. So private variables are limited to the containing type. Type in the sense a class. And protected is somewhat extended to this private variable. So this protected variable can be accessed within the type along with the lines we can access in a derived class as well. See here the salary we are able to get here. And public has no restrictions. So we can access it from the class name. We have created an object and we can access it. But we cannot access outside of this class or derived class. Integer and salary. I mean ID and salary. ID is a private. We cannot access within outside of this class. And salary field is a protected. We can access the salary field is within the class as well as derived class. But we cannot access outside of this. Let us see by uncommenting these two lines. ID is a private variable. Is inaccessible due to its protection level. Again salary, which is also same problem, is inaccessible due to its protection level. Hope you remember and now you understand at least private variables are restricted to within the class. If you mention a variable as a private, cannot be accessed anywhere outside of this class. And if you mention a variable as protected, this has more extensibility than private, meaning that a protected variable can be accessed within the class. Here you can see salary and as well as in the derived class obj.salary. Now let us see that what is next access specifier. It is internal, anywhere within the containing assembly. First of all, what is an assembly? In the initial video sessions, I discussed on types of applications that can be developed by using .NET. One is a console application, and then second one is Windows application, and then third one is web applications. Most of the types I am telling, not all the types of the applications that can be developed by using .NET. This is the priority one I am telling. So when you create and execute, you will be getting .exe files here. And we have something called assemblies. When we create it, we'll be getting DLLs. DLL means for dynamic link libraries. DLLs are called dynamic link libraries. So when we created a class library and when we compile that, we'll be getting .dll files. Let us show you an example how to create an assembly. Let me go to this Visual Studio. Here, how to create an assembly. Right click on a solution here. Then choose add, click on new project. Now from left hand side, make sure that Windows is selected, then class library will be there. Oops, it has been selected. Let me delete this. I don't want. Now let me tell you again. On solution, right click, then choose add, click on new project. Make sure that left side Windows is selected, and here let me use tab. So it is getting created, right? Yeah. Make sure that class library is selected. Now you can give a name for that assembly. Assembly 1 I have given. Click on OK. So how to create an assembly? Right click on a solution, choose add, click on new project. Make sure that left side Windows is selected. Inside this class library, and you can rename it. I'm going to cancel it because I don't want to create one more assembly here. We have already created one assembly. Now let me delete this and I can create one more class. I'll tell you that how to create one more class. Right click on assembly 1, add, then choose new item. You will get a dialog box. There you can choose a file type as a class. Let it load. Now you can see here a class. Now I am renaming it. Assembly 1 class 1. Let it be. Then I am keeping this as a public. And we have created an assembly. Now we are going to use this internal access specifier. Here let me declare an internal integer id. So I have just declared one variable with internal access specifier. Within this namespace, let me add one more class. So whenever you create a class, class keyword is mandatory. Let me create assembly 1 class 2. Here I am going to create an object for assembly 1 class 1. Let me create a method, public void my method, inside which I am going to create an object obj.id. Say here we have got that is equals to some number. Here what I'm going to tell you is, if you decorate a variable which is of type internal, then this id can be accessible within the same assembly. Here I have not used derived also. If you use derived, I mean what I'm telling is, protected means within the containing type as well as types derived from the containing type. But whereas internal, anywhere within the containing assembly. If you are there within the assembly, then you can access this internal field. Clear? So you have declared an id field with internal. We can access it within the same assembly. Now I am going to tell you protected internal. For that we need one more assembly, because see the definition here, anywhere within the containing assembly and from within a derived class in any other assembly. So we need two assemblies. As of now we have created an assembly. In the same lines I am going to create another assembly. Choose add new project, then class library. I am renaming it assembly 2. Earlier I have given assembly 1, now I am giving assembly 2. Again it is created. Just delete this and I am going to create another assembly. I mean another class. Assembly 2 class 1. We change it to public. Okay. Now here is a simple thing that I told you here, that when you see this, anywhere within the containing assembly and from within a derived class in any other assembly. So we are communicating from one assembly to the other assembly. go to console application again. So in assembly 1, I am going to decorate another variable with protected internal integer. You can take any variable name. This time I am taking emp id. Okay. Now you wanted to access from one assembly to other assembly. You should decorate your variable as protected internal. How to access this employee id in another assembly? Let us see that. First and foremost thing what we need to do is make sure that it is having no errors, no compilation errors. So select this assembly one and build it. If we go and see this, open file and folder structure, under the bin folder, under the debug, you can see the DLL. Just now I said, right, when you execute or compile, you can see that, yeah, here dynamic library will create one .dll file when you compile your class library. Let me go to this. I wanted to access emp id from one assembly in another assembly. For that, we should add a reference. When you go to this place, open folder in file explorer, we are seeing this one, bin folder, debug folder, we have this. The same lines, we don't have anything under assembly 2 because we have not yet built this class library. Nothing is there. So when I debug this, when I compile this, you will be getting .dll file. Before that, let me add a reference of assembly 1 in a assembly 2. Add reference. Click on add reference. Browse it. Where you have this assembly 1.dll. If you get confused here, just cancel it. Just cancel it. Again, a debug is there, right? This is the one. Console application assembly 1 bin folder. Just copy this. Minimize. Now references. Add references. Browse. Here you paste that path. Now you can see assembly 1. You just add it. Here it will be seeing the tick mark. Click on OK. Now also you can see assembly 1. This is the one. Assembly 1 name we had given, right? This is the one. It came here. Now go to that assembly 2. Next step is you need to use that namespace. Assembly 1. We have got it. Understand? One is you need to add a reference. After that you need to type here using assembly 1. Now we need to access that assembly 1. Again I am going to derive it because this class contains protected internal, so I am deriving it. Now it is same. Public void hello method now assembly 2 class 1. I am going to create a method object obj is equals to obj dot emp id. Say here we are getting this emp id only. If you try to access this one, we cannot get it int id because that is a internal only. Obj dot see, nothing is coming here. Suppose if you forcefully do it, it will be throwing errors. We just see this way of writing, and in a protected also same. I have derived it, the class which is there in another class. Then I am able to access salary field because it is mentioned as a protected. Same way I have mentioned as a protected. In order to access this protected variable, protected internal variable, I just derived the class which is there in a assembly 1 class 1, and then I created a method same which is here. We have used public void my salary, inside which I have created an object for this. Same way you can see this. I have created an object for this. Then I am able to access. Hope you understand this differences. Private means within the class. Public means no restrictions. Protected means within the class as well as within the derived. And then here you can see internal anywhere within the containing assembly. Protected internal means anywhere within the containing assembly and from within the derived class. If you can see, there is a similarity between private and internal, protected and protected internal. Just imagine that this here I am telling within the class. Here it is within the assembly. Here also within the class as well as derived class. Here it is within the assembly as well as within the derived class. So let us see that assembly 1, whether we can have access to it or not. obj.empid. See here, there is no error coming, meaning that internal access specifier can be accessed within the assembly. And if you mention an a variable as protected internal, you can access within the assembly as well as within the other assembly when you derive it the first assembly. Hope it is very much clear. Thank you for watching. In the next session we will discuss about static class and static methods. Thank you.